As you can see behind me, this was a huge week of change for us. Losing our temporary crew member, changing our tent and changing the blocking of the boat. For those of you who have been following the journey of Chi-Chi the rescue dog over the last few months, I'm so excited to tell you that today is the big day. Today is the day that she is going to her new home. Are you ready? Chi-Chi, are you ready?
Is she getting a home?
The more affection you give her, the more she'll love you, and the harder she's going to guard your stuff and guard everyone. So she responds to love. Yeah, she's a snuggly little girl. You're going to go somewhere new. Maybe keep that in the front. She can't be trusted. Hey, you're a good girl.
Oh, she's very brave. She's so tough for a small...
She's ready for a nap right now, though.
Look at this, she's beautiful. Oh well, I'm glad she found a home. I'm so pleased. Stay. Good girl. She's so cute. Good girl. She's like, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? Oh, you gotta get emotional. Oh, Tish. She got a home. Hey. See, you did a good thing.
I mean, obviously I'm really emotional. Us keeping Chi-Chi was not the right decision for her or for us. But it's crazy to think that 3 months ago she was just this like terrified, emaciated little puppy, and now
Hanging off my arm.
she's now she's going home with someone who, like, just chatting to the guy who obviously cares about his animals. So I think she's in for a really good life. Whereas before, if we hadn't done anything, she probably wouldn't even be here right now. She would have been hit by a car like the rest of the pups. So it's really good. It's really good.
Chi-Chi good? Chi-Chi? Chi-Chi, what happened? How was your day today? How was your day today, Chi-Chi? Tell me, how was your day today? Your day today was good? Chi-Chi? You're scratching them? Chi-Chi?
This week is going to be a pretty big week for us, because this week we're hitting 2 major milestones. First, today, the shame tent is meant to start coming down. We have been living under this tent for well over a year now. I'll put the exact time here, and it is crazy to think that within apparently just 2 days we will no longer be under this tent. The second thing that's happening is that as soon as the tent comes down, they are meant to be lifting Liger up on the Catamaran trailer, which is being done so that they can then work on the keels and replace the rudders. So yeah, this is a pretty big step towards us getting relaunched, and fingers crossed nothing gets broken. The decision has been made to start with the front of the tent first and then work their way back. It is already like after 1:30 and they're just kind of getting started, so I don't know how much progress we're going to see today, but any progress is progress around here.
When you got it like that.
Watching this shame tent come down after all this time, it's hard to put into words how it feels, that's for sure. We're so close. We're so close to this being over. Tina's just up there at the moment with one of the yard dudes, and they are getting the wood ready to cover the solar panels.
Fingers crossed it's ready.
Yeah.
I was here when they put it in, yeah.
You were here when they put it up?
Oh yeah, I've been here since all of it, to be honest.
Yeah, you've seen a whole lot. This is so exciting, Rose. As far as I'm aware, the plan for today is to take down this whole front section and then back to around here, and then leave this whole section of the tent up until tomorrow, and then they'll pull that down. So at the moment, you can just see here, Tynan is working with one of the RNC guys on the other side, who I can't show you, and they are getting the helm enclosure back up, because once this comes down, obviously these are waterproofing, and that will help prevent the helm from getting flooded and the stuff that Nino is working on from getting wet. It's been a long time since we've had a helm enclosure up too, though.
Let's go, what's that?
It does look good. And that's it. That is as far as they're going to go today. So the whole front section is down, parts of the platform are off, but we're actually going to try and leave it at the stage that it's at, as well as get rid of a couple concrete blocks, because this way we can keep the protection, but we should be able to lift the boat with it like this, which just gives more time with a sheltered environment to work on the deck, which is always a bonus. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but yesterday, after like 4.5 hours of sanding, I turned around and whacked my head on the platform, and it's left a bit of an indent. So now that can't happen because there's no platform anymore. This morning, another really big step forward on Liger. We're going to be lifting the boat, but we're going to be lifting the boat while still inside of the tent. One of the main reasons that the boat is getting lifted is because the keels need to be repaired. Now, the issue with the keels is pretty easy to demonstrate for you. So Leopards come with what we call a sacrificial keel. So this whole bottom section of the keel is joined on with Sikaflex, and it's designed so that if you were to hit something, the keel will be sacrificed, but not the rest of the boat. Our problem, however, is that the Sikaflex sealant never cured. So this boat was launched in 2021. It has just never cured. I mean, we've been out of the water now for 20 months. 20 months, yes, you heard that right, on the hardstand. And still, so obviously that's not good. So these are going to be removed, cleaned, and then put back on properly. It's the same on both sides, so it's not just one side that's affected. On this side, you can see we're actually missing bits from the back. So you can just literally take bits off and just dig out chunks. So, not good. But by the end of this week, hopefully, it should be repaired and we won't have a keel that moves when a person shakes off it anymore. While it seemed like some of the internal sealant may have set, the back part of both keels had detached, the exposed area was wet on both sides of each keel, and when a probe was pushed through the bond line, it came out with wet sealant on it. A partial rectification was attempted on the hardstand in Cape Town, but it didn't work, so the keels needed to come off. We don't know the root cause of the sealant being wet, but clearly it needs to be fixed, especially given comparable catamarans from other brands can safely sit on their keels. Yeah, that's like completely off center now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shit.
That's it, fellas. All right.
The lift is done, so now we're just literally hanging in the air on the trailer. First thing that's happening is the rudder change is happening, then we're going to get blocked and stabilized.
You see this? These just pivot sideways and you can take them out.
That's cool.
Because up,
Down. Slowly.
I couldn't film much of it because the Robertson and Kane guys were helping and I can't film them, but these are our new rudders that are in. So that is part A of this job done. Now it is to actually block the boat and then the keels can be worked on.
Let's have your stick on.
Today, the joint repair team sent in by Leopard have been very busy. Unfortunately, as I've said before, I'm not allowed to film them, which is such a pity, but I can explain what they've been up to. As you can see behind me, our keels are off, and I think they're actually at the point where these guys are planning on bonding them back on tomorrow, which is like a lightning fast changeover. So if you have a look at the actual hull itself, all we have left is the stubbies, and then that's the keel that bonds on. So as you can see, the keels are sacrificial. There's no peg or anything that I've seen on some boats to hold it on. It is literally just a join along that line. The original join on the boat was the Sikaflex that I showed you earlier. It's not going back on with Sikaflex. We're actually bonding them on permanently. The reason we're doing that is the sacrificial keels are perfect for the charter market, but we're not a charter boat. We are going to be a remote area cruising vessel, liveaboard cruising vessel, and we plan on living on this boat for a number of years still. So for us, it made the most sense to bond them on, and it's something that we personally have seen other Leopard 45 owners do with their own boats. So they're kindly assisting us with that. They don't have to help us do it, which, you know, obviously we appreciate their help in this. But one thing that is made easier with them being off is sanding anti-foul. So once again, my evening will be attempting to sand as much anti-foul off as possible. The previous contractor already took it back to the glass along where it's going to be bonded. I'm just going to finish here, and I'm only going to be going back to the grey primer. So that is my plan for tonight. I cannot wait for the day where my evenings are not filled with sanding anti-foul. but it's a job that's got to get done, and I can't do some of the technical things that Trent and Tynan can do. My role is largely paperwork, importation, communications, all of that stuff, and that's kind of wrapping up here because we should hopefully be leaving soon. So instead, I'm going to do some grunt work. Morning. Long night, but productive night. So I stayed up first getting some sanding done. I managed to get kind of one whole side and then a bit, and then we called in a favor from a friend and he came in and he helped do some more. So basically 3/4 of it's done. I think that they want to bond the one to the hull today, so the rest will just have to get done when it gets done. But solid start, much easier to sand on a bench than on the actual hull itself. So as you can see, it's been a big week of change around here. We are getting very, very close to when Leopard would like us to relaunch. And next week, the repair team is leaving. So as much as we have optimism for the future, it's right now just incredibly stressful trying to make sure that things are getting done, because when they leave, anything that's not done we're going to have to do, and we're already doing a lot. There's, you know, we are doing 12 to 16 hour work days at the moment, without, you know, we don't have weekends. We work 7 days a week to try and get this boat across the line, and that is exhausting physically and mentally. I try to be very optimistic and keep a positive vibe, because that is just so important to getting through this, but it is hard. So yeah, it's I know a lot of you are really excited for us being so close to the end, but that in itself is just, yeah, incredibly stressful. We are, I mean, at this stage in our journey, we are quite used to being let down, so it has been a nice relief that the guys that they've sent out do generally know what they're doing, and they do generally do a pretty good job. But yeah, it's been a really hard few years, and we are close to the end, but at the same time, the damage that going through this experience has done to our lives is definitely not anywhere near done, and it's not easing off at the moment. It is a really rough time and quite frustrating, because there was 6 months when nothing happened. And then all of a sudden at the end, just before we wanted to launch, just before the end of the hurricane season, it's this mad rush. You know, we are still waiting on parts. We are still waiting on things that were raised as being an issue over 6 months ago, which is just, again, it's just frustrating, so frustrating. But we don't have a choice. This is our home, and we have to keep soldiering on, and we have to deal with this. And it's not, as we've said before, not something that we ever expected to go through with a new boat. It's not something that we should have gone through with a new boat. We know that we're not the only ones. We're probably one of the worst case scenarios, but by no means are we the only ones who have warranty issues. So yeah, hopefully you'll see us out sailing and happy and enjoying things in the future, but for now we are not at that point just yet.